everyone. Today we'll start with a new chapter, Agro meteorology. In this chapter we will know about difference between weather, climate and the different instruments used for measurement of different weather parameters, and also how monsoon works and different types of clouds. So it is one such interesting chapter in agronomy. We know that for crop productivity, 67%, that is 2/3 of the productivity is due to the weather influence, and the remaining 1/3 or 33% of the crop productivity is influenced by other crop management practices. So with this, I'll start with the environment. Environment or environment, as you say, it is an aggregate of all external factors. Under external factors, climate is one such important external factor. Climate, the study of climate in general terms, we can call it as climatology. Climatology is derived from two Greek words, clima and logy. Clima means slope of the earth and logy is the study. So it is a mean physical state of the climate. Here, climate constituents of atmosphere, hydrosphere, cryosphere, lithosphere and biosphere. So all these components come under climate. Climate, when we talk about climate, it is about the long-term weather variations. So under climatology, one such important aspect is meteorology. Meteorology is also derived from two Greek words, meteoros and logy. Meteoros is high in the sky and logy is the study. So it means scientific study of atmospheric physics of weather. You can say that meteorology is only the atmospheric physics. So under climate, we have different spheres of the earth. So meteorology deals with atmosphere. So meteorology deals with all the weather parameters which are required. Under meteorology, we can go, we get agricultural meteorology or agrometeorology. So agrometeorology, here two words, agro and meteorology. Agro means agriculture, meteorology is the study of weather phenomena. So agrometeorology is the weather phenomenon which are influencing agriculture. You can say in other terms, that is the relationship between plants, animals with the physical environment. Physical environment, it involves temperature, relative humidity, moisture content or the air conditions, wind speed, wind velocity. So all those terms comes under physical environment. Or in other terms, you can say agrometeorology is the interaction of meteorological and hydrological factors with the agriculture. So as agricultural students, for us, agrometeorology is important when compared to meteorology or climatology. So agrometeorology will deal with the different weather parameters and how they are influencing crop productivity and what are the different types of instruments which are used for this. With this, we'll go for the differences between climate and weather. Climatology, as I told you, it is a long-term process which we take up, and weather is a short-term process. The basic differences between climate and weather are, climate is a long-term weather variation. When we say long-term, it may include 10 to 30 years. When we say weather, it is a short-term. It may vary from minute to minute, day to day or hour to hour. So, climate or the weather, it deals with the atmospheric weather parameters like air movement, moisture and heat. All the three are very important which we take up under climate or weather. So when we say climate, it is the variation in air movement, moisture, heat for a long term. And when we say weather, the same variation of air movement, heat and moisture minute to minute or day to day. So these are some basic differences between weather and climate. So when we are going for a crop cultivation, to take up the cropping system or the irrigation methods, we will look into the climatic conditions. And when we are going for the time of sowing and the date of harvesting or time of tillage we will decide with the weather. So these are basic, very basic differences between weather and climate, and we should know. So if it is a cropping system, we will go for the climate, and if it is for the tillage operation or the any small intercultivation operations in the field, we will decide with the weather. So these are some differences. Now we know the difference between climate and weather. Under climate, now we will talk about macroclimate and microclimate. Macroclimate is the variation in the weather phenomena above the ground level, above 1.25 meter height. Above this height, this is ground level. So from ground level, when you take 1.5 meter and above, that variation in the weather phenomena or the weather parameters, that we take it up as a macroclimate. And microclimate is suppose this is a plant we are having and this is a root. Suppose microclimate is the variation in the weather phenomena under the vegetation canopy. So canopy is the aerial part of the plant. Under this the variation, suppose this is another plant, neighbor plant. So the weather phenomenal variations in the weather under this region from top till its root, that we call it as a microclimate. So I hope this is clear. Microclimate is the difference or the variation in the weather phenomena above 1.25 meter, and microclimate is below 1.25 meter. That is, we restrict to the canopy variation or the vegetation canopy variation. This environment involves the aerial part of the plant and till where the root reaches. That part we take it for the microclimate. With this, we will also learn about history of meteorology, how this has been evolved and how the various instruments were developed by different scientists. Aristotle is the founder of meteorology. Aristotle is the founder of meteorology, and Galileo Galilei has invented thermoscope. Next is Evangelista Torricelli invented mercuric barometer. Barometer is used for the atmospheric pressure. And next person is the Francis Putford. He has given the classification for wind speed, and we use the unit Buford scale for the calculation of the wind speed. And in 1960, the first weather satellite, Tyros-1, was established. And also I have picked some of the important scientists and their invention. I hope this is clear.